Good morning. Here they come. Took a while for everyone to start showing up. Morning Elaine, morning Miss M, morning Michelina. It's nice to have you all here. It is a rainy, stormy day here. Kind of cozy. I need to light candles. Haven't had a chance to do that yet. So happy Friday. I woke up this morning completely sure that it was Saturday. Asia and I are going over tomorrow to the Black Rock Desert to have a tour of a geothermal area over there, and it starts at 9, and I woke up at 7, and I was like, oh my gosh, we need to be in the car right now because it's a 2-hour drive to get over there. And then I was like, oh wait, it's Friday. So that was good news in my head. Miss M says, hanging in there today. So yeah, how are you checking in? I think my word is relieved. Relieved that it's Friday. Both because I don't have to, I'm not late for my tour tomorrow, but also it's the end of the work week. It's a very weird work week. Oh, Elaine says, found a dry spot on the porch. Good start to the day. That's nice. What's your weather like down there right now? I always think of San Diego as being 78 degrees. I don't know why that's stuck in my head. I think someone told me when I worked in Vista for 3 summers in college at a summer camp, someone told me that the average temperature year-round in Vista was 78 degrees. So it burned in my head. Kind of funny. Yeah. Oh, Jenny's here. Hello, lovely Kathy. Hello, lovely Jenny. I didn't see you come in. I missed your comment there above Elaine's. What a happy day to have you here. So yeah, I'm gonna write down relieved. Elaine says, haha, atmospheric river. I'll call it rain when the chickens can't see their feet. It's close to 70. Oh, Jan says, good morning. Happy day so far. Celebrated 42 years of marriage with this guy. Congratulations, Jan. I love anniversaries. 42 years. What is today? November 14th. And my check-in is relieved. Oh my goodness. The comments are fast and furious. Michelina says, congratulations, Jan. Love is love. Pamela says, our rainstorm has not materialized yet either. So much hype. Jenny says, checking in cozy. We have a heavy rain warning, so I got to come home early. Oh, nice. Elaine says, oh, Jan, so wonderful. Miss M says, hi, Jenny, love. Carol says, hi, all. And Miss M says, yay, Jan. Carol and Pamela are congratulating Jan. Jan says, pretty amazing. The years go by fast. Yeah, they sure do. They sure do. My daughter just turned 29, which feels unbelievable. My oldest will be 31 in December. Michelina says, I'm going to a wedding in San Luis Obispo tomorrow. 100% likelihood of rain and nonstop dancing. Elaine says, Jan, was there cake? And Jenny says, hey, Miss Unlove. Yay, Jan. I do love the way we celebrate each other. I was looking for a reading this morning, and there have been several things I've saved recently on Instagram that were just talking about women. And Laura sent me something yesterday, a poem read by the poet that I had saved a week or so before. That's so sweet. Yeah, it's really lovely. I don't know if she sent it to all of you, but Pamela says, I'm thinking of stopping in SLO tomorrow night on my drive up north. Jan says there was chocolate, even better than cake. Or maybe chocolate cake is the top. I'm not a huge cake fan, but a good chocolate cake, like a really moist chocolate cake, white, yellow cake, I can skip any day. Michelina says, come to the Madonna Inn, Pamela, let's dance. And Miss M says, awesome, Michelina. And Jenny says, hi, sweet, sweet Carol. I got an invitation last night for a birthday party next weekend in San Francisco. And I RSVP'd and texted the daughter and was, my hair is just like a football helmet today. I can't stop. Okay. I texted the daughter and said, I really want to come, but it'll depend on if I can get over Donner Pass, because I don't want to drive over Donner Pass in the snow. And she said, fingers crossed for great weather. And then Asia woke up this morning and was like, what if I flew you over? And I was like, no, I don't want to mess with that. And blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, what if we flew over together? And what if John and Don came with us, our best friends? And I was like, cereal? Like, so now it's turning into this whole huge thing where maybe all four of us are going to fly over on Friday and fly home Sunday. I don't know. Pamela says, oh yeah. And Elaine says, is that a wedding crusher I smell? Fun venue. That is a fun venue for a wedding. Michelina says, my dad loved the Death by Chocolate cake at Dino's Pizzeria. So rich and topped with fudge sauce. Oh my gosh. Carol says, Madonna Inn has been around forever. Have a great time, Michelina. Wear out those dancing shoes. And Michelina says, I mean, that sounds like a blast. I know. It just went from this, we thought we were going to be home next weekend to all of a sudden we're flying to San Francisco. The flights are actually only $229 round trip, which really surprised me. Only a week out, but I would not personally. I told Asia I can't afford to fly right now. I'm poor right now, and he's like, I'll cover it. I'll pay for all of it, and I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe we could have a Mandala breakfast on Saturday or something. Okay, it's 8:11 and we've done nothing official. So why don't I start us off by saying that this is our Mandala Universes, and this morning it just feels like a group of friends who get together to talk on, every morning at 8 a.m., which is kind of what we are. But we're also more than that, because this is also a daily creative practice where we have committed to drawing a circle every day, and we can fill the circle with anything that needs to be expressed. So I've been doing a lot of watercolor. This whole book is watercolor, I think, and a couple ink drawings. But you don't have to be an artist to do this. Like, there's no wrong way to make a mandala. And like, look at that hot mess. Whoa. And we welcome new people, and we really love and care for each other in beautiful ways. And we should probably move on to some grounding. I think I need it because I'm a little woo this morning. So I do have a reading. And the reading is about being water. So I'll invite you to close your eyes and visualize. Get your posture where it needs to be. We do this enough. You guys know the drill. So I'm not going to walk you through too much of what it takes to get into that grounding space, because you know. Take a note of just your body, your space. What does it feel like to have your bottom on the surface that you're sitting on? If you're laying, what does it feel like to have your body supported? And I want you to start to visualize your favorite water place. For me, it's a beach at Lake Tahoe called Whale Beach. It's a bit of a hike down there. It's about a mile to get down to Whale Beach. And it's kind of a secluded space with a giant boulder coming out of the water that looks like a whale's head pushing through the surface. And the water is so clear, bright turquoise, gentle lapping on the sand. And as you visualize your space, I want to read a poem by Yuli Kay. When the world is on fire, be water. Douse every angry conversation with unexpected kindness. Flow gently through the streets where people have grown hard because they're sad, and sad because they are tired, and tired because they are breaking. Trickle into the darkest corners and into the smallest spaces, and past the no trespassing signs. Pour yourself wildly and freely and fully. Drip like your heart is perforated and seeping with compassion, and splash over all of the edges. Rush as though the wind inside of you is contagious, because, oh beautiful spirit, it is. Flood the earth with goodness without asking who deserves it. And if you still have an ounce of courage left, an ounce of breath, an ounce of a hopeful chorus rattling inside of your bones, when the world is on fire, be water. And then I'll invite you back to the page. And let's draw. Michael says, I'm free on the 22nd. Carol says, it is Kathy. I think you mean about the circle, like just friends getting together to talk for half an hour. That's what it is, isn't it? And Michelina says, wish I could join you for a mandala breakfast. Yeah, I wish you could too. And Miss M says, you're always with us, sweetie. And Jenny says, Miss M. She's touched by the sentiment. Should I wear my glasses? These are just sitting here they don't really match my outfit today. They were sitting on the island. Okay. So here we go. Let's paint. Ooh, gotta pick colors. I started a puzzle last night. I went to the Goodwill yesterday to drop some things off. And I have said since we moved here, I've told anyone who will listen about how terrible the Goodwills are here. Goodwills, thrift stores, they're just, in my preliminary exploration of them when we moved here, I was very disappointed. The Goodwill in particular is very messy, and the Goodwill in Spokane was evidently really special because it was humongous and it was very well organized, a beautiful, beautiful store. And but yesterday I had a little bit of time. I had to drop something off, a donation off, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna do a little Goodwill shopping. And I did, and I spent like an hour there, and I found a few things. And so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna give it another chance. I'm gonna start going thrifting again regularly. I found a really great pair of sweatpants that I am excited to wash and start wearing. They're like really heavy, you know, like the old school sweatpants that were like thick. Like that. And they're Nike, which I don't really care about the brand, but that might help you if you ever had a pair of those old Nike sweatpants. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, why did I tell you this? Why did I start this story? I don't remember. Anyways, I'm going to do some laundry today, and I'm going to wash those sweatpants. Thrifting. Yeah, I started because I was thrifting. Carol says, so interesting that you're talking about this. A friend is coming up tomorrow. That's what we're doing, going thrifting. Oh, the puzzle. Thank you, Alicia. Hi, Alicia. I didn't know you were here. Oh, yeah. So I found a puzzle at the Goodwill. Thank you. Our brains have to be collective, right? I just feel like, wowza. Why in the world was I talking about the Goodwill? Anyways, I found a beautiful, I'm going to show it to you because I'm so excited to work on it because it's such a pretty picture. Well, it's not pretty, but it's cool. How do I turn this camera on? Here we go. So it's this. Oh, isn't that cool? So Asia and I sat down and started working on it. I got the eyes and part of the mouth done, and it's 1,000 pieces. I don't think I've ever done a 1,000-piece puzzle before. But I just was at this place where I've tried a million things to cut back on screen time in the evenings. Well, I haven't tried a million things. I've tried many things. I've tried different apps. I can't read in the evening before I go to bed because it makes me fall asleep. I'm like a Pavlov dog in that I have trained myself that reading is what we do before bed, and that's when we go to sleep. And so if I try and read on the couch, like at 7:00 at night, I'm out. Like I'm just gonzo. So reading doesn't work. I don't want to watch that much TV, and it gets dark so early now. And I was like, what can I do with myself that's not scrolling on my phone? And a puzzle is the answer. So that's what I'm going to be doing for a while. Yeah, I've done a lot of 500-piece puzzles. A 300-piece puzzle is like kind of I love to just sit down and complete a 300-piece puzzle in one evening. But puzzles are kind of like earthquakes. Like, it doesn't take 3 times as long to do a 1,000-piece puzzle as it takes to do a 300-piece puzzle, because you have so much more to sort through that it's going to take way longer than 3 times as long to do that. Is that mathing for anybody else? You know how earthquakes are not like a 7.2 earthquake is not just a tenth more powerful than a 7.1. It's like 10 times more powerful. I don't know the exact workings of the Richter scale, but I do know that that's true, that it's not just 1/10 of a point stronger. Oh, this is an interesting mandala. So anyway, that's my puzzle story. I also bought, I don't know why I did this. How many of you have ever, like, you see something like a hair appliance that you're like, oh, that's going to be the magic hair appliance that will suddenly make fixing my hair, it'll be instantly be perfect with this particular appliance. So I bought that appliance, and guess what? It's not magical. It made my hair look so stupid yesterday when I tried it. Oh my gosh. So I think I'm going to take that back, because they take electronics back. I'm just going to say it doesn't work, which doesn't mean it doesn't work. It means it doesn't work on my head, but they'll take it back if it doesn't work. So, and that's not a lie. Not a liar. It was $8, so I want my $8 back. Okay, I know there's comments. I'm just trying to get through this inspiration that hit. Okay, my mandala's done. Okay, let me catch up here. Elaine says, my puzzle connection is a little used bookstore, $1.50 each and dozens to choose from. Yeah, this one was 99 cents. Although it said $7.99, I thought it said $7.99, and I was willing to pay $7.99 because puzzles are expensive. But when I got up there was another tag that said 99 cents. So, Micheline says, whoa, I love that. And Elaine says, fun one, 1,000-piece minimum for me, Elaine says. Carol says, awesome. Alicia says, looks so fun. Carol says, don't know why, but the puzzle reminds me of you, Micheline. It must be the vibrant colors. Elaine says, oh, the things you could buy at the thrift store for $8. I know. Yes. Yeah, I'm going to get my $8 back. And all they give you is a store exchange, so I will have to buy something else, but that's okay. Miss M says some of my quilt making is puzzling. Indeed it is. Yeah, so Asia actually came and sat down with me. He doesn't usually do puzzles with me, but I think he's kind of feeling the same way. These long evenings, like we look at each other at like 6:30 and we're like, is it bedtime? It takes a while to settle into that and know what to do with yourself. Yeah. I do need to crochet. I am working on a blanket for Christmas. Well, the one I was working on at the retreat, that's for our best friends for Christmas. And I haven't picked it up for a while, so I need to get busy on that. It's a fast one because it's a really thick yarn, so it won't take too many nights to finish it, I don't think. Miss M says, so many fun thrifting goodies, Elaine. Yeah. So Jan says, puzzling makes perfect sense for the winter. Yeah, it really does. It's a fun way to pass the time. Put on some good music. I put on first I started with a bossa nova channel, and Asia was like, after like 3 songs, he was like, no, can we change it? So I put on this great jazz playlist and we just did the puzzle and it was really lovely. I used to bake a lot in the winter. When my kids were home, I would bake a lot. But I just can't bake a lot anymore because then we eat it. And neither one of us needs to be eating a lot of that stuff. So no more baking. Occasionally I'll bake, but yeah, not very often. So I wasn't really thinking when I painted, but now that I look at my mandala, it looks like water flowing through a desert. So that's appropriate for the reading. I'm wondering what your, if any words have come up for you. I'm writing down these words. Wildly, freely, fully. Those are the words of how the water should pour. Ooh, that means something is coming up at work in 10 minutes. Oh, Michelina says, I painted Whale Beach. Have you been there? It's such a beautiful beach. I can't wait to see that. Jenny says, yeah, my mandala is when the world is on fire, be water. Yeah. Miss M says, we put a family puzzle together last holiday and hope to do so again this year. Yeah, we would always, when my family would spend a week in Manzanita with my brother's family, every summer, we would always do a puzzle while we were there. Jenny says, I painted the cove in gray stones. Can't wait to see it. Jenny, I was just telling a friend about, I'm not going to remember the name of it. Is it Avoca? The textile place that we went and had lunch where I bought my blanket. I was just telling her about, evidently somewhere in the Midwest, there's a Restoration Hardware that's on this humongous estate. Some of you Midwest gals might know about it. Her friend lives in Indiana, I think. Anyways, I was telling her about, I think it's Avoca. I have a kitchen towel from there. I could probably go look. Anyway, yeah, I was just remembering our day there. It was so, so pretty. So it's such a lovely place, and I could have bought a million blankets. Pamela says, I just bought a wood puzzle for the family for Thanksgiving. And Allie Donnelly says, hi. Hello, Allie. We are just now wrapping up, but if you're interested, I'll invite you to watch the replay. Or any of our replays, because we have a bunch of them on here. All right. Thank you, friends, for being here. I love you. Have a wonderful weekend. And yeah, Avoca. Thank you, Jenny. I knew that's what it was. Okay, I love you. Bye. Thanks for being here on Friday with me.